Hello, Purple Heart Consciousness holders. This is Reverend Jerry Hobby, and I'm so happy to be with you today. The reason I'm happy to be with you is we get to celebrate life. I'm going to say happy St. Patrick's Day to those that celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and you'll notice I have on my green. I want to invite you to learn how to just enjoy life. Ernest Holmes says, life is not just something to be endured. It is to be lived in joy, in the fullness without limit. And I truly believe in that. And it is important that we remember that as we're moving through our situation now with the COVID-19, this pandemic experience. And I want you to hear the word experience. And what I remember is those sacred words from my grandmother, her wisdom. She says, all things work together for good for those that love the Lordly presence. And for me, right now, reflecting on her words and reflecting on her life, I know that there was some divine wisdom in that experience. And the reason I say that is my grandmother grew up during a time when people were moving through quite a bit of stuff. She had the wonderful opportunity to see our movement through World War I. She was a child during that time period. And then, of course, my grandmother had the wonderful experience of moving through World War II. Those are times where people had to just really pull together. We had to anchor together. And so today we get the same thing, to do the same thing by pulling together and working together. So they were able to overcome their situation during that time period. And I have a mental equivalent and know that we can overcome what we're going through. And right now we get to show up. And the most exciting part about bringing the joy that Ernest Holmes mentioned is just showing up and doing our part. So I believe that there is value in spiritual practice. And I'm going to invite you to continue to check in with this prayerful heart on a daily basis and pray with us and share this app with other people. I want to share another quote with you from Ernest Holmes, and then we're going to move into prayer. He says, we're all thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there it's flowing through us, a creative something. Call it what you will. And so I am calling this creative something good. As Emma Curtis Hopkins says, there is good in the world and we ought to have it. So with that in mind right now, I'm going to invite you to join me in stepping into this sacred place and exercising the power of the word through prayer. And so I'm inviting you right now to simply breathe with me and just let go. Let's breathe again. And again. And notice with every breath, the movement of that energy through our entire body. And right now, I am fully cognizant of that movement within my heart space. And I begin with the heart, knowing that the heart is resilient, that the heart is a wonderful organ that is interdependent. It operates independent of itself, and it is the great communicator within every heart or every part of our being. And so in this space right here, right now, I focus on the heart and acknowledge the heart as that wonderful source of being, that divine awareness, a place and a space where we anchor in, remembering that the energy and the vibration of good is always present. And in this very moment, right here, right now, I just take this time to acknowledge it as that source of life and the source of being, as that divine energy moving right now, as the divine presence fulfilling itself and revealing itself. And what I know about this wonderful presence is that it is that divine essence that is thriving right where I am. It is the energy and the presence of wholeness, of perfect health. It is that divine presence that fulfills itself as every seeming need. It is the divine awareness of that sacred presence that anchors itself, and it overcomes any sense of limitation, any sense of fear. And what I know is it creates and it fulfills itself as a new expression, a new way of being. It is that divine essence that fulfills itself. And so it is in this awareness right here and right now that I'm acknowledging this wonderful presence and know that it has already gone before and prepared the way, that it is the divine presence uplifting itself. I know that it is in our whole experience, and I acknowledge it right now as the quiet stirring that brings about peace and harmony. It is that divine awareness that integrates itself in humanity. I know that it is the divine wisdom moving right now within each and every one of us as we move forward and as we move into a place of unity and cooperation, as we move through our world experience. And what I'm knowing too is that the presence of the divine is that same presence that is enlivened. It fulfills itself within all of our leadership on all levels. I know that it is that divine essence within every household and the leadership bringing peace and harmony and balance for each and every person within every household. I know that it fulfills itself right now within workspaces as changes are adapting and fulfilling itself. I know that it is in our leaders at the local, state, government level, and I know that that same vibration that I speak of right now, it's alive within all of our doctors, within all of the wonderful practitioners that we are surrounded with, these healing practitioners. And I'm acknowledging it right now within our science community, within our scientists, our researchers, and everyone that is fully present. I'm knowing that that seed of good, that divine wisdom is the divine light. And in this awareness right now, I give thanks for the presence of the divine. I'm giving thanks for the progress. I'm giving thanks for the wisdom and the guidance that is unfolding and fulfilling itself right now. And most of all, I'm giving thanks for everyone with an open ear, an open heart, and for the cooperation and the collaboration for the highest and greatest good of all humanity. And so what I know is that there is a peace that abides, and it is the peace that passeth all understanding. And I know that this creative element has already gone before and fulfilled itself, that it is the progress that we are seeking, and it has fulfilled itself in a divine way. So I simply release these words right now into the action of universal law that I always know that says yes, yes, yes. And it is in this space that I know that all is well, and I affirm and say, and so it is. Amen. So I'm giving thanks right now as I begin to open my eyes and look at you. And as I look at you, I remind you the importance of paying attention, listening to all of our leaders, those elected leaders, knowing and continue to know that they are divinely guided in their wisdom as they share it with us. And I'm inviting you to be a part of the solution. And so part of the solution is moving into a place where we are in harmony and we're in balance. I know we're going to move through this with ease and grace. And in the meantime, I'm going to invite you to take a moment and laugh. Maybe look at a movie tonight. Remember to take breaks from all the information that we're ingesting right now and take time for spiritual practice. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Have a blessed evening. Namaste.